Hello and welcome to another episode of Wealthapp Holiday Adda, where we bring to you the stories of those who dared to dream. Today on our show, we have with us two very special guests all the way from Kuwait, here in Mumbai with us. Mr. Pranab Baral and Ms. Rupa Das. Ma'am, sir, welcome to the show. We are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to start off with ma'am. Ma'am, if you could please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, for time being, I'm here in Bombay, purely housewife now. Earlier working, but due to some few things like bringing up my child, as he was traveling all the time, so someone should be there. So I stayed back with her. And that was now she's in college.
Wow,
Now thinking of doing something for myself.
amazing.
Yeah.
So ma'am, if you could tell us a little bit about what did your work look like?
When I was working,
Yes.
I used to work for like a logistic firm in their IT department.
Amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. More on that later. Mr. Baral, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm in banking throughout. I started with a bank in Calcutta, ABN AMRO Bank Calcutta. Worked there for about 8 years. Then 1 year in ABN AMRO Chennai. Then I went to Qatar. Worked in a bank over there for 6 years. Came back to India. In Mumbai, I was with RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland, for about 2.5 years. Then I left that, and then I went and started working for a bank in Kuwait from 2014. So it's about more than 10 years now I'm in Kuwait. Through and through banking. So that's how it is.
Amazing. So, ma'am and sir, you have been a banker all throughout. Ma'am was in IT and then a housewife, which is the hardest job that there could be.
Yes.
So, what was your relationship with money like over the years, ma'am? If you could.
For me, like money, I have a banker at home. So I never bothered about money. Seriously telling you. It's always been Pranab who is like taking care or looking after or like bothering about. I'm there to spend. That's money.
That's
for
amazing.
Me. That's money for me. But jokes apart, it's like all these years, because he's banker, I always try to like bank on him for money.
Bank on the banker.
Yeah, bank on the banker. And now I'm thinking of getting into like, now my daughter is in college, so now I can start up with him as well.
So, sir, the question for you will be a little different. So, you've been a banker for so long. You could have very well managed your finances on your own. Why did you choose Wealthapp? What made you take that decision?
Well, see, I was in banking operations, okay? So initially I used to be part of general banking operations, and since about 2004-5 onwards, I got specialized into treasury and investment operations. So I have been working in back office. So I was part of the treasury and investment operations business of the bank, but I was in the back office processing work. So I was used to various concepts, all that is going around investment strategies and all that. But somehow the work pressure and all, I never had that that triggering factor which would like enable me to start managing my own finances. And frankly telling you, we are all coming from middle class families. So for us, stock market used to be something like, oh, better not to touch it, because there are so many people who had given me feedback that if you enter there and you lose all your money and all that, so put money keep in deposits in banks or in insurance. So that was what is. Although I had been seeing a lot of investment activities, but somehow that thing never came to me that okay, it's time for me to start. However, my friend Onindo Pal Chaudhary, who is the CEO of Wealthapp, he was the one actually who was kind of behind me during pandemic. So we were all at home, lockdown and all. So he used to call me. I used to be in Kuwait and he used to be in Calcutta. So he started explaining to me, and then I got convinced. And he also told me that, look, this is a very good time, because that was the time at which when all the markets crashed and it was just going up. So he kind of, and I was still, in a hesitation mode that no, let me think, all that stuff. But then he was kind of push me in. So that's how I got in, and since then I had been regularly increasing my investments through Wealthapp in a diversified portfolio I have, and so that's what I mean. Frankly telling you, probably if once I leave my job, because in operations it demands a lot from me, it demands a lot of time. It's not like a plain simple 8 hours work. Yes, 8 hours plus it would take at least 3-4, sometimes even more. Sometimes we have to work over the weekend, especially after COVID. Now we all have remote access, so there is no end to work, there is no fixed timing, so it just goes on and on. So somehow I feel that if I have to manage my own finances, if I have to do trading on my own, I need to focus much more on that. I need to devote much more time on that. So right now I'm not into that, but I have my plans. Probably after I hang up my boots, after my retirement, I would probably start doing something on my own. So that's what it is.
And what about Wealthapp then?
No, Wealthapp would be there. Wealthapp would be there.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
It's really important, because one would assume that having worked in the financial sector, in banks, and because we kind of assume as youngsters that, we search Google and then we suddenly know everything about the markets and about investing. But to have that message that having worked in the financial sector for such a long time, even despite that, you prefer a company like Wealthapp to handle your investments for you.
Exactly.
That is really heartwarming. Thank you so much, sir.
As I told you, I think main thing is time. You have to be disciplined, and you have to be devoting a lot of time and focus and concentration towards it. Otherwise, better leave it to be done by somebody who is expert, and that's his primary job. So let him do his job. Simple as that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience, and it was lovely talking to the both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.